Bobby. Oh. Wait. Hi. I'm
Hello.
recording.
Oh, this is recording now.
Yeah. Hello. Fear the Ing. Hopefully this doesn't sound terrible.
This time, at least.
I'm going to stop saying the episode numbers. Just jumble it up.
Yeah, good. Just let everyone guess.
Just let people guess.
You don't know. You can't follow the numbers.
No, you can't follow the numbers. No one knows what the numbers mean, Mason.
Except for Mason.
Except for Mason. Well, we're back. We're here. You can hear the heater in the background once again.
Because it's cold.
It's cold here. It's cold, and my chair was squeaky, and I thought it was going to break, so I'm back to using this really comfy chair that I can sit on for hours.
And this one I can moderately stand.
Yeah. If only the rolly chairs weren't so darn squeaky.
Yeah.
Mike could keep picking up. You got the story up?
Yes, I got the story.
Speaking of getting the story up, this week's story is NIHIL. N-I-H-I-L. Not N-I-L-E, not like the river.
Or nihilism?
Yes, it is Nihil as in nihilism.
So Nile as in the crocodile. So not Niles as in the crocodile, but Nile as in nihilism.
Yes. Nile is the crocodile. Nile is the crocodile.
Do you think crocodiles are nihilistic?
I mean, they just eat all day.
Yeah, but I mean, like, do you think when they like grab a giraffe, like when they grab like the wildebeest out of like the river and shit, do they just go, "There's no God for you, and this is just your fate"?
Yes. Yes, I firmly believe that.
I imagine they are.
This story is credited to Joe Turner. Hello, Joe Turner. Hope you're out there totally listening to us, I guess.
Hopefully.
And we're going to do this popcorn style like always. I'm going to go first, and then Rob's going to go. Anyway, I'm Julian, and this is Rob. We're back. It's us. Hello.
As always.
As always, your hosts. And I don't know. New people are going to come in eventually, but not right now.
Working on it.
We're working on it. It's cold. No one wants to go outside. All right, so we're going to kick off Nihil. A 9.1 on creepypasta.com, by the way.
And
Oh, you're doing a pose. Oh, hey, you're pointing at me. Okay. Nihil. Nihil? Nihil? Nihil. It's weird when it's just that syllable.
Yeah.
Okay. The first time I heard the legend of the Mad Hangman was from another inmate in our prison. He told me that there was a man with the ability to ward off death, that he was immortal. At first, I thought it was a comforting fable for people who were about to be executed, but then I heard it from other places.
His name was the cook.
Oh, no!
His name was August Atherstone?
Yes.
A master executioner in Britain in the 1800s.
Not one of those amateur executioners.
Nah.
Like that guy tries to kill you in Skyrim and gets scared off by the dragon.
Yeah. He hanged a countless number of criminals. There were rumors that the only way August could get so effective at killing was that he performed unofficial executions, favors for prisons who quickly wanted rid of an inmate.
Oh, so he did like, this guy's bothering me. I need him gone.
I can do it.
I need him not breathing. Can you do that, August?
All I could do is August Atherstone.
My OC, August Atherstone.
This definitely sounds British.
Yeah, I mean, they put the U there.
Yeah.
Okay. August said he had seen reflections of the afterlife in dead eyes so many times that death and life became one. He was death's messenger, and through this entered into a pact with death himself.
Crawling in my skin, these wounds will not.
These wounds,
they will not heal.
They will not heal. Oh, okay. How are we gonna do this?
Because this keeps getting like
small, big, small, big.
Yeah. Want to take the next small one, and I'll take the next three.
Yeah. Okay. Some people say he was afflicted with eternal life. Some say death rewarded him.
He walks the earth now, waiting by the graves of his loved ones for death to finally come for him, but he never does. They say that some... Computer, will you stop doing that?
Uh-oh.
They say that some cults worship August as a god. They offer him sacrifices so they too can live forever. I tried to find them. I couldn't. That's why I ended up here.
Record scratch. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Oh, that was all a story. The legend of Mad Hangman, pieced together by various letters found in an abandoned apartment. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. Death himself is a mystery, the milestone of which we measure life. We wait for him like we await an old friend, often attempting to delay his intervention, but never to defy him entirely.
He was my obsession. I longed to see the world through death's glaze.
Death's glaze.
Death's gaze.
Death's bukake.
That's a different kind of glaze.
Hey.
By the time monotony and routine had become the foundations of my existence, I had learned that life held no discernible meaning. Death would come for me, and I would be a name carved into a stone. Long forgotten before high wind prevented graveyard visits and overgrown wilderness masked the details of the dead on my colorless headstone. Through some divine inspiration, perhaps, driven by the state of nothingness of reality, I unknowingly embark upon a journey into the realms of the unreal.
It's pretty emo, man.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's pretty emo, man.
It's nicely written, but
It is. It is very wonderfully written. Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. What was that? Did you hear that? Was that August Atherstone? Did you hear that in the wind
I don't know.
out here in Lincoln Park?
On the edge?
I began contacting murderers, serial killers, terrorists, cult followers, cult leaders, mental patients, grave robbers, necrophiliacs, cannibals, Republicans, any type of deranged mind I could locate the whereabouts of. Within a few months, I'd contacted notorious inmates such as John Wayne Gacy and Ted Bundy. What's the name of the dad from Married with Children?
Al Bundy.
It was not Al. I keep getting them confused. It's going to get me killed one day. It seems that I had a natural talent for eliciting a response from such people. I would study their victimology and work backwards, often posing as a woman or a gay man or a devotee of their interpretation of art. On the night Ted wrote his last letter to me, he had signed off with "Your friend," and it was no coincidence that he was executed the following morning. I always found it humorous how the prospect of death reveals true intentions, even from someone as experienced in the art of death as Ted was. So he's a fanboy of the depraved.
Weird. My interest in high-profile killers began to wane, as their stories were often elaborated to the point of fiction. My concern then moved onto lesser-known evil, the nameless occult killer haunting the backstreet boys of small towns. The curious Satanist eager to offer his new god entity his first sacrifice. After all, if I was to unlock the secrets of death, would I not find it veiled in the unattainable depths of morbid psyche?
Ooh.
I was saying, when we take the next one, because that one was kind of short.
Oh yeah, you can take the next one.
Yeah. Well, that's if my computer loads it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of computer problem because this dumb advertisement keeps playing and I can't close it.
Use your phone.
What became clear, though, my correspondence was that although the serial killers were the most egotistical people alive, they held a secret admiration for each other's works, an admiration which existed only in murderers' collective consciousness, never to be spoken of. It was not uncommon for me to play the part of the middleman, passing messages between psychopaths across the country. It was through this that I learnt the legend of August Atherstone.
The August Atherstone.
The.
He has a baseball card.
He has stats.
He has stats.
Like an X-Men card. The Mad artist known the Mad Hangman, and is packed with death himself. Whenever a serial killer with occult connections was incarcerated, several murderers would try to contact them, and the subject of the Mad Hangman seldom arose.
Occasionally, I would be asked if I could contact certain people who I wasn't familiar with. It was rare that this happened, but one name in particular kept arising. Baron Trump. I had uncovered no details regarding such a person, but I was assured he existed. Robin Gecht informed me that Baron was an unstoppable, merciless killing machine driven by ritualistic delusions. He found all 5 pieces of Exodia, the forbidden one. Rod Farrell was certain that he had met Baron before, and that he was somehow affiliated with the cult which worshipped the Mad Hangman. Months of searching for this mysterious inmate yielded no results, until I received a letter from a cannibal in Britain. Hey, I got a question.
Yeah?
This thing's just name-dropping people and just not explaining the fuck's going on.
It's kind of just, not really explaining too much, and just talking a little bit about stuff.
Yeah, it's well written. It's just going off, and it's just, you're not telling us who these people are. Like, I mean, I know who Robin Gecht is. Like, these are all serial killers, but, like, what if you just stumbled upon this story? Like, you'd be confused. Just name dropping, like someone who...
Like, hey, do you know who Gacy is? Do you know who Bundy is?
I guess. Yeah, Wikipedia.
Yeah, he killed people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. And
he killed people,
really
he killed people, that's just a theory.
According to this guy.
A killer theory.
Anyway. So...
Oh, you gotta read this letter in a British accent.
I'm trying to think, what British accent should I do?
Well, it just says it's from Britain, so sound like a British cannibal.
He's here. There's a cell in the basement we call the throne room because it's just a chair and nothing else. Some of these guards organize fights between inmates down there, and a couple of guys claim to have seen an unknown prisoner in the throne room. I've overheard conversations between guards. He's painted the walls with his own blood. His mouth has been sewn shut. He wears a mask. He's been eating rats. I sometimes hear sounds coming from his cell. It isn't screaming or shouting or any of the shit you usually hear in prison at night. The noises coming from down there are not human. I know from experience that he won't be around long. I've heard that the guards have been told to get rid of him. They will, unfortunately, execute him, August Atherstone style. If you want to see Baron, get here quick. Stephen G. Inmate number 364, redacted, Monster Mansion. I made routines to travel. Oh wait, is this the guy or is this
No, this is not italicized, so it's just
okay. So it's just so there's a place just called Monster Mansion.
That's where they do the Monster Mash.
Do they just play Monster Hunter?
Wait, why was your British accent? Why did you sound like the pirates from Secret of Monkey Island? Would you like some grog? That's pretty good, though.
Yeah. You're gonna get killed, August Atherstone style.
August Atherstone style. All right.
Do you want me to?
Yeah. Finish that off.
I made arrangements to travel to Wakefield, even though that's the part that was. Wow, way to spoil the crossing. Not hesitating to leave routine and monotony behind.
Standing in front of the Monster Mansion itself, its gigantic stone walls cast a shadow on the sleepy town beneath. Cold January rain beat against the arched gates, which slowly opened to reveal a Gothic palace housing the most deranged criminals in England. Oh, you know what? This is dialogue. This next 3 lines. Let's just alternate. I'll kick it off. All right. All right. You have a British accent.
Okay. Wait. Do you want me to do a different British accent?
Yeah, do a different one. Let's see your repertoire.
Okay, let's see. Try.
I'll say this first. I have a visit scheduled to see Stephen Griffiths, inmate 364, I told the guard who escorted me to our allocated room.
I'll be supervised your meeting with Mr. Griffiths, said the guard. He tied back his long hair with a headband from his wrist and straightened his uniform. It's not for your own safety, and to make sure nothing is given or exchanged. Do you understand?
Sure thing, Danzig. That's who I was imagining.
Zandig?
No, not Danzig. Glenn Danzig.
Oh, Glenn Danzig?
Wait, who's Zagdig?
The wrestler. The Jesus!
Oh, that guy.
You're all gonna die!
You're all gonna
die!
Jesus!
I'll kill every last one!
Oh,
Jesus!
Jesus! You guys should watch Botchamania.
Yeah, you should.
Everyone should watch Botchamania.
No, but if I was going for Glenn Danzig, I would just be like, you know, it's for your own safety and make sure nothing is given in exchange. Do you understand that? I'm Glenn Danzig.
I'm gonna start my own comic book company.
I like Wolverine.
I love Wolverine. I agreed to the protocol and soon found myself sitting face to face with Stephen, a sociopathic cannibal lusting for infamy. His shackled hands rested in his lap, and his gaze was primarily focused on the table between us. We made small talk, such as how I was finding my stay in England and what I did for work. Stephen's crimes did not interest me in the slightest, nor did his life story. I had begun regular correspondence with Stephen so that my motives for entering Wakefield prison would not be questioned. I suspected Stephen knew my true agenda, but who was he to reject friendship? We won't be friends. Please don't eat me.
When I finally asked Stephen about what I needed to know Baron's whereabouts, his eyes met mine for the first time, and I heard the Beatles playing.
Oh.
Before Stephen could speak, however, the prison guard promptly intervened.
I'll be the prison guard this
Okay.
time. Visiting time is up, he said, and ushered in another prison warden to escort Stephen back to his cell. I had anticipated that this would be the case, and somehow needed to prolong my stay at the prison. The same guard forcefully ushered me out of the room and back to the courtyard. Please follow me, sir, he said, walking in the opposite direction of the arched gates I entered from. The exit's this way.
I followed him across the empty courtyard, my visibility reduced by standard issue English weather.
Oh.
You know, just standard issue.
Shooting 9mm ACP rounds.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you enter in Britain, they just offer you standard issue weather.
That's right. Didn't you know? That's what the Blitzkrieg was about.
We passed between two stone pillars bearing plaques honoring the architect who built Wakefield Prison. We passed through a picturesque scenic garden decorated with benches and rose bushes. Despite its beauty, the place seemed more barren with every step we took. We eventually arrived at a spiraling concrete staircase leading down seemingly to the bottom of the world.
That's a rape dungeon.
It wasn't until then that I realized where I was being led to my death.
Oh.
The guard was not leading me to the exit. He was leading me to where I wanted to go.
Disney World.
His bedroom.
Oh, hey, dude.
His silent and blank stare told me all I needed to know.
Oh!
He was one of us.
Finger blasting, Bobby.
A follower of Macabre. With the Macabre, a seeker of death. Yeah!
High five! High five! Death!
Yeah! Can't get enough of it.
Death's radical. Not a word was spoken between me and the guard, but like serial killers before us. I don't know why I found that funny. We have held a mutual silent admiration, like they have like club cards or something.
Yeah,
like it's a Costco.
It's like when you join a guild or a club or something like that, and you get tattoos, and then you show up, yo, and then just like
death, high five.
High five. How long you been a member?
I don't know.
4 years.
I got this jacket.
I sent enough club cards and I got this jacket.
They give you stamps. They stamp your club card, and then you get a free sundae. At the bottom of the staircase, the guard unlocked a steel security door, which opened into a dimly lit corridor. Once the scent of damp stone had subsided, I followed him through a narrow tunnel illuminated only by a single bulb in the distance. For the first time in my life, excitement coursed through my veins. It felt as though I was walking into the mouth of hell, and I didn't care if I made it out alive. Ooh. This was the closest I had come to death's realm since I first contacted John Wayne Gacy, and those letters seemed like child's play in comparison. Death had visited here. This I was certain of. Whoa.
He talked to Gacy?
Yeah, he talked to Gacy. He sent letters to everyone.
But wasn't John Wayne Gacy dead?
They don't specify the time period.
True. But I mean, he was talking about other killers.
Well, they all met through a Tim's message board. They're all talking about their Timberland boots.
Oh, okay. At the end of the corridor, it stood, the throne room, in the flesh.
Ew.
Just as Stephen had described in the letter. Albeit with one minor difference, the cell bore no prisoner. It was simply an empty chair, camouflaged against the gray stone wall behind. "I'm sorry to disappoint," said the guard, finally breaking the silence, "but Baron is no longer kept here. He was
coerced.
He was what?
Coerced
into a fight with the fight to the death with another inmate just yesterday. If the rumors are to be believed, is he dead? I asked. I'm just imagining now our guy is Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Just Nicolas Cage obsessed with dead people.
Yes. You know he's playing Superman in the Teen Titans Go movie.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
That's amazing. Is he dead? I asked.
Keep going.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm told. I did witness it myself. Although I had bet a lot of money against Baron to win such a sham. Why the hell would you do
that? There's no death penalty in England, you see, so we have to find ways of keeping the prison population down. The official report will say that a fight broke out, resulting in the death of an inmate. No one really bats an eyelid when a criminal dies. Can you tell me anything about him? Did you talk to him? Do you know about his crimes? What about the bees?
I can't divulge any details. Besides, he didn't say much. His lips were always sealed. His possessions are still in his cell. If you'd like to take a look, just don't take anything.
The posthumous items adorning the floor of the Baron's cell.
That's a fancy word.
The posthumous, yeah.
I have no idea what that means.
That's the stuff left behind by a dead person.
Posthumous?
Posthumous.
I've never heard that word.
Like when someone wins an award but they're dead, they're given the award posthumously.
Okay.
Yeah. Would be priceless. The posthumous items adorning the floor of Baron's cell would be priceless to some of the deranged collectors I had come to know. A detailed sketch of a public execution with a sharply dressed hangman holding a scythe, a masked man sitting atop a tombstone, 2 crows encircling an empty grave. The only other item in the cell was a pack of playing cards, missing every card but one. The card in particular was the Jack of Hearts, and something had been hastily scribbled on the back. 355 Churchfield Terrace, WF 6 4QZ.
An address.
Wait, am I just doing Shack?
That was a little Shackish.
Kobe, find the serial killer. Kobe.
I'm trying to find dead people. You can't stop me. I'm going to burn.
Try and stop me, Kobe.
I bring tea and everything. This is weather standard issue.
I'm wearing my Timbs. Heard his money.
On my basketball.
His money over there.
In.
Kobe. I'm a dunk on John Wayne Gacy.
An address. I slipped the card into my pocket when the card was unaware. I thanked him for his time and asked him to show me the real exit. Gray skies set in overhead as I took shelter from the rain in the doorway from Wakefield Library. My taxi arrived. 10 minutes later... Oops.
Keep going. Keep going.
10 minutes late and took me towards next destination.
Wait. What's the driver's voice? Oh God, there's a dog down here. Dog break.
Hi, doggy.
I hope he doesn't bark. There's a doggy. Hi, doggy. Hi, doggy.
That's a wise away, the driver said. Be about an hour.
What you mean you all got a bucket of powers? He was not wrong. The journey was made more treacherous by the sterility of the vast Wakefield countryside. Endless acres of woodland, with only hints of blackened skies, visible through impossibly high trees. The dog is still here! My drop-off destination was what seemed to be in the middle of a marsh. No distinguishable path led away, and all signs of urban life had long been depleted.
Here, I asked. No, not here, dummy.
Oh.
Sorry, wrong boy.
Wait, why is Nicolas Cage talking to Elvis Presley?
Sorry, I thought that was Nicolas Cage again.
Not here, dummy.
No, that was Nicolas Cage again.
Keep reading.
No, not here, dummy.
I gotta get rid of the dog, and not in a deathy kind of way. I'm gonna keep recording. Who needs editing?
Okay.
Keep reading.
I will. No, not here, dummy, the driver said. This is as far as I can go without driving into a bog. Keep walking that way, he said, pointing into the black expanses of trees.
Chasing a dog.
Should come to a few houses eventually. Some right weirdos living around here.
Explain to him what's happening.
Okay, so he's carrying a dog upstairs because we're recording downstairs. So I guess I will take the next lines until he comes back. I followed his instructions as he drove away. I struggled my way across dead wildlife and broken tree branches, eventually arriving at remote territory resembling a domestic residence. It was more of an abandoned farm, but the worn plaque on the broken gate told me that this was 335.
The number of the beast.
Sam's beast?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's the number of Pete's dragon.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, now that you're back, I can explain what happened.
Yeah, what happened?
So he had told the driver, "Hey, take me to the place on the card," and the driver was like, "I can't go there. You're gonna just have to walk because this is all nothing but marsh."
Yeah.
And bog.
Yeah.
And so he got out and walked.
Riveting.
Yeah.
Exactly what I would be greeted with. I was unsure. All I knew was that Baron had brought me here. Overgrown grass and weeds led a makeshift path to the front door of the house, which, despite knocking on for several minutes, no one answered. I edged around the side of the house, eventually stumbling upon a small window. A dim light flickered off the reflection of the glass, allowing me to make out a handful of details inside. A trophy cabinet, a white leather robe hanging from the wall, a painting of a tentacled eyeball. Wait, the Neversoft logo?
Oh, man.
from the Tony Hawk games.
So in that trophy cabinet is every Tony Hawk game ever.
That's right. No, he just found where the Neversoft people went off to after.
It's all the copies of Gun.
It's all the... Oh, God. Thomas Jane played the good guy in that.
I want to go back and play that game.
That's a good game.
I remember playing it a lot and never finishing it.
I remember for some reason it really struck me in that game when one of the villains slit this random bar hooker's throat, and then they modeled her slit throat. And they even modeled her neck going back, and I'm like, Jesus Christ!
I just remember the part where when your hooker friend dies.
Yeah.
And then later on, you're supposed to sneak around the bad guy's camp, and they start singing a song about her. And I just remember something about Darwanjo. I don't know. I just remember that song.
All right. Are you the hush? You be the hushed voice.
Okay. I knew you'd come! Said a hushed voice.
That's not a hushed voice.
I knew you'd come.
That's pretty good. I turned around, ready to run.
I just need to know you take the initiative.
A familiar silhouette appeared from the shadows. Waist-length black hair, no longer tied back.
My apologies for not being honest with you earlier. I couldn't risk our conversation being overheard. I planted that address in Baron's cell. My address.
Ah,
I needed you to come here.
this is your house?
Correct, he said. I'll explain everything soon, and I assure you, you're in no danger. Would you follow me, please?
The prison guard, or who at least I believed to be just a prison guard, led into this decayed farmhouse. Each room was more decrepit than the last, some of them barely held together by loose wooden panels. One of the rooms had a semblance of order, perhaps a living room, since lost to domestic neglect. A corridor led to what I assumed to be the room I had stared in from outside the house. The entranceway appeared different to the rest. It had been cared for. It boasted 3 steel padlocks and was made of corrugated iron.
Very few people have ever stepped foot in this room, or ever laid eyes on it. Please, don't touch anything, especially my collection of the game gun.
Oh, just multiple copies.
It's just the same copy over and over and over.
Wait, is the throne just made out of copies of Gun?
No, it's made out of all the Tony Hawk Ride skateboards.
Oh, Jesus. So it's huge. It looks like the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones.
Yes. The Iron Door took an age. The Iron Door took an age to swing open. Orange lights from bare bulbs illuminated the rectangular room, showcasing wall-to-wall glass cabinets.
Ooh.
Headless mannequins adorned the corners of the room, decorated in clothing from a previous age. Bizarre paintings of otherworldly demons hung in black frames.
This is really edgy.
Yeah. Am I still the guard?
Yeah, you could be the guard.
I've read all of your letters, the guard said. Your preoccupation with death goes beyond obsession. To the point where you were willing to travel blindly in the vain hope you might uncover something the rest of the world doesn't know.
I walked up to the first glass cabinet, unsure where to look first.
I know this,
He continued.
because I'm the same. Every item in the room has at some point passed through the hands of death himself.
Woo!
All the artworks you see has painted by murderers, serial killers, something with their own blood, the offspring of demented creativity and the paintbrush. I own genuine torture devices used centuries ago in public executions. I am in possession of the bones of the most deformed man ever to live.
Aw.
Danny DeVito.
I knew you were gonna... For some reason, in my head, I saw Danny DeVito. I don't know why.
I love Danny DeVito.
I love Danny DeVito.
Who was hanged from a tree as he was thought to be adversary of God. Except the problem was that when they tried to hang him, his neck was just too fat, and
Yeah.
he just kind of hung there the whole time.
Yeah.
Just like, he wasn't dying or anything, but he just kind of swayed back and forth, and he was like, don't try and stop me!
Oh, sweet release.
I own occult artifacts. Murder weapons.
Murder?
Yes, weapons that murder murderers.
Murder.
A piece of skin said to be torn from the devil himself.
Ew. It's his foreskin.
I was imagining just, like when you get skin grafts, they take skin off your butt.
Yeah.
It was just that. Just skin off the
Wait,
devil's butt.
wouldn't he'd be covered in burns? Wouldn't he just be made out of butt skin grafts?
The butts of other butts?
The butt. We are legion, for we are we are butts. He walked towards a mannequin wearing a white mask and a frayed leather robe. That's racist. In front of the mannequin stood an empty altar, a visual straight from the scene of a cult sacrifice, albeit its human elements replaced with lifeless ornaments.
This is my collection. This is my obsession.
Obsession.
All I'm missing is the ultimate item. A girlfriend.
Oh, well, you're never going to get that because you're too busy serial killing. His eyes glanced toward the empty altar and took a breath to indicate that the piece was not wholly complete, that something should be perched atop, some priceless tome or grimoire. Which is? I asked.
Please step this way. I have a surprise for you.
Ooh, cake.
Just close your eyes, cover your ears, and open your mouth. And
Oh, boy.
You'll know when to stop.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Arabian goggles incoming.
A door camouflaged between two glass trophy cases became apparent when the guard placed his hand on his
gold doorknob. Hey!
He opened the door outward and proudly stepped back as if revealing a master painting he had spent his life creating.
It appeared to be a storage room, perhaps for items deemed not important enough for viewing privileges in the guard's personal museum of the dead. Yet not. A sudden influx of shock blinded my rationality. How long I remained silent for, I will never know. But between breaths, I eventually managed to ask the question, "Who is that?"
It's the cook.
Oh, it's the cook.
I need not to wait for his answer. A man bound with rope and chains sat in a chair unconscious. Any other time, I would have not recognized him. His pale features and thin blonde hair, uncut for decades, resembled no one I had seen before. My realization came when the prisoner's head lolled to the side, revealing lips that had been somehow torn to pieces. His mouth had swelled to twice its normal size, and his lips pulsated with holes and fresh scars anew. I apologize for showing him to you in such a horrific appearance, said the guard. His lips had been sewn shut for years. I'm no surgeon. I'm a god.
I'm a god.
I couldn't help the trauma.
For the first time, I felt that maybe I had come too close to death. Maybe this was all some kind of error, and death was not my reason or my obsession. Maybe something else entirely. Literature, painting, poetry. Maybe I could take solace from a medium where death was not immediate, not presented within touching distance inside a glass case. Please explain, I said. I don't know if I want any part of this.
Is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in the inner circle of the prison system gives me access to the information I need. The amount of inmates who pass through us without the public knowledge is immense. From there, I can locate the killers who interest me and be the first to get hold of their possessions. I convinced the courts to send Baron to Wakefield so that we could keep him hidden in the throne room. Most prisons are reluctant to take the high profile inmate because it's not worth the hassle. So the courts were glad to send him to us.
Hey, Rob?
Yeah?
I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
This is really fucking boring.
Kinda is.
It's really fucking boring.
I will say it's written well.
It's also really... Hey, you know what was written well? The Scarlet Letter was written well, and that's fucking boring.
I didn't read Scarlet Letter.
Well, it's fucking boring.
Glad to know. Isn't that just a book about adultery?
It's a book about, yo, this girl's a skank. Make her put on the thing. Now everybody's a skank. Ha ha, she's a skank. Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Oh, so boring. All right. Like, last story was...
Boring, but written bad?
Yeah, but then we can make fun of it.
Yeah.
This one's so boring we can't make fun of it.
Well, we're doing voices. I kind of say we're doing voices. That's good enough.
High profile, I asked. No one knows who he is. No, this is Patrick.
It's just our guy's Patrick now?
Yeah, I'm Patrick now. Deal with it. Hey, SpongeBob, this guy's got a trophy case full of guns.
This is your wallet.
Oh, no, this is Patrick.
Your name is Patrick Starr.
This serial killer is just looking at me.
Is the scene where Man Ray's trying to give him the wallet and Patrick's like, that's not my wallet.
This serial killer is just staring at me menacingly. Yeah, where is it? No one knows who he is.
Because we managed to keep his whereabouts a secret.
Oh.
Regardless, our instructions were simple. Keep him hidden from public. Starve him to death. Then claim it was self-inflicted. But last week, the instructions from courts changed. Kill him immediately! The authorities had unearthed more of his victims, and they found the word covered in their skins. NIHIL.
Oh shit!
We said the
title.
We said the title.
Is that no? Oh shit! But it's
NIHIL.
Yep. Bill Nye, where he lives, NIHIL.
The House of Nye.
Oh shit! Which means
exactly.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does
it mean?
Niall, what does it mean?
How to get burned?
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 What does it mean, Rob?
This isn't the first case we've heard of this with we've heard of this with the words being carved into victims' flesh.
Flesh.
The problem is it's been occurring all over the community. Different victim types, different methods of body disposal. At first, it was assumed to be some sort of underground trend. Maybe killers were somehow contacting each other, and this was their way of showing off.
You guys your accent's starting to sound like a...
I got tired of doing the...
Yeah, he sounds like a soccer commentator. This isn't the first case we've heard of the word being carved into victims' flesh. The problem is it's been occurring all over the country. Different victim types, different methods of body disposal. At first it was assumed to be some sort of underground trend. Maybe killers were somehow contacting each other, and this was their way of showing off. Go!
This is all turning into one ludicrous display at the moment.
This is one ludicrous... The thing about John Wayne Gacy is he always tries to walk it in. Thinking back through my correspondence with inmates, the word was made vague. The word had made vague appearances in the sign-offs of some of the lesser-known murderers, often those with connections to the occult or Satanism. I assumed it was to be a farewell of those initiated into Death's Circle. This is so boring. I'm so bored. It just drags on. It just explains.
Yeah, it's really giving like no actual explanation to anything.
No payoff.
It's just a guy talking about stuff.
It's just a guy talking. It's just a documentary about dead things.
Like, I want to say you have a good premise here, but you're not really explaining much of anything, and there's really not much to. It feels like there's not much to go on. You're just kind of. It's kind of like a guy showing off his comic book collection.
This is Spider-Man 354. This is when where Spider-Man teamed up with Nova and the Night Thrasher.
This is like if we took a webcam and we started just showing all your books back there.
Yeah.
And not really showing, like, oh, what happens in this book.
But instead of books, it was just dead people.
Instead of books, it's just, oh, serial killer. You know John Wayne Gacy, right?
You know what we should do?
What?
No matter how long or short the thing is, we should trade off and just do a different voice.
Okay.
I'll do this one. Okay. It took me 3 days, but I finally got Baron to speak. Everyone who knows about him believes he's dead. So I could do what I wanted to him. Ew.
Ew. The guard cast a a maniacal glance towards Baron's shattered ankle.
Yeah, fuck your ankles.
He's into ankles.
He beat him in basketball.
He's the ankle breaker.
He's the ankle breaker.
Does this mean Baron's the hoop god?
That's right. He's the hoop god 25.
What little consequences was threatened as a result for his torture had manifested itself into violent interrogation. The guard did not strike me as psychotic, merely motivated. He's not crazy. He's just highly motivated.
He's got a cat poster. It has a cat on it. It says "Hang in there."
Yeah, right. Motivated by desperation at a rarer than rare opportunity.
I needed to know about NIHIL, about all it meant, but that what he told me was a lot more interesting.
The guard leaned down and spoke to Baron's swaying head.
Tell him what you told me about the executioner.
A soft voice eventually began to speak slowly, as if narrating a story he had told 1,000 times.
Wait, he's not gonna rate fucking Baron's dialogue? It's just gonna go me, 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 me.
So now this is a guy telling a story about meeting a guy who's telling another story, and now he's gonna tell him a story.
But we're not gonna hear it. We're just gonna hear a description of the story.
Exactly. His arms and legs still shackled. His body leaned forward as independent from his thoughts. He reenacted the tale of the Mad Hangman, applying details of the story lost during its telling through the ages. Night turned into morning, and myth became reality, and I became bored and tired, and I went to bed.
Oh, boy.
I left the guard's house in the early hours, coming ever closer to the chance of meeting with death.
Wait, that was it?
What? So what? I was.
He pretty much went. He told a story. Time passed. Then I left.
Wow, that's like.
That's exactly what happened in that paragraph.
Why even bother telling that detail at the point? It's just saying. You could have just said he gave me some details and then I went home.
He dropped the deets.
Instead, you made a medium-sized paragraph about it.
The guard financed me considerably. Money was no object to him, or so it seemed, or at the very least he was willing to part with a generous sum of money for what he deemed the ultimate item. A copy of Warhawk for the PS3.
The very rare Japanese release of Gun.
That's
for
right.
My Gun collection.
That Xbox 360 version of Oni-Chanbara.
What was this ultimate item you're talking about? That's simple. August documented everything he knew about death in his journal, a book unlocking the secrets of existence. In its possession of a cult who worshipped August as God, and his book of death as their Bible, a cult was part of it. They have used it to enter the realm of immortality.
Baron was certain he knew the whereabouts of the book, and even claimed to have seen it himself. I followed his directions to the letter, taking the westbound train out of Redditch.com, until it came to a stop in a tunnel while the tracks changed. I exited the train through a window and hid in the tunnel until I could safely move. I followed the tracks out into the ensuing greenery and into a backdoor town called Logslow. What windows were not whitewashed were boarded up, and a great tint illuminated every building and path. After asking multiple Logslowians, for directions, and them denying its existence, I eventually found what Baron had assured me was August's eternal home, Logslow Cemetery.
Changed this town from Logslow to Story Slow.
Oh boy.
I waited until dusk and scaled the cemetery walls. The gigantic bolted gates showed no signs of allowing visitors. Nervous adrenaline propelled me into the waist-high grass from the atop wall.
Yep, that's what it says.
That I don't know why that sounds weird to me. Barely checking for any danger below me. The graveyard was a forgotten sanctuary, unspoiled by human hands for decades. The dead were The dead here were calm. Almost certainly, this.
I'm yawning. Almost
certainly, this is boring.
I waded through grass and across frozen mud until I discovered the tombstone I was searching for. A blind angel atop a black headstone, the resting place of August Atherstone's wife. In Baron's version of events, August came to his grave after madness had claimed him, unable to cope with the grief of seeing his loved ones pass away. He attempted to dig up the remains of his deceased lover. When he failed, he simply sat in his graveyard waiting for death to take him, but death never came. Rob, there's so much story left! Oh my god!
August Atherstone had a wife? Mrs. Atherstone?
Mrs. Atherstone.
Now we got a wife.
There's a wife now. Wifey. Hey, auntie.
Hey, auntie. I follow the dirt trail leading from the blind angel grave to a nameless mausoleum, paying an unusual tribute to the dead.
Unsung tribute to the dead.
Unsung. Oh, paying an
It's alright, my eyes are heavy too from the story.
I thought it said unusual tribute. I had
9.1! Robert! 9.1 on creepypasta.com. A 9 and a point and a 1.
Well, I want to say we have a quarter left of this, right? Because I'm judging this by the bar on my tab.
It's almost a 10.
I follow the dirt trail leading from the blind. Oh no, I already read that.
The tomb leads.
The tomb leads below the graveyard, a private burial ground. It's where they buried the men that August hanged.
Oh.
What you are searching for is down there.
I followed a spiraling path into blackness. That's racist. Keeping my body against the wall. The shuffling sounds I heard as I ventured farther in I attributed to vermin and large insects. I continued down, trying not to avert my eyes toward the few creatures that grazed my neck and hands. Ew.
Follow along the left-hand wall, all the way down.
Oh wait, this is Baron talking.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this is Baron. It's italicized. This is Baron talking.
Yeah, but there's no
quotations. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, so it's just a memory of what he said?
Yeah. That shit we should have been told earlier.
Right. Follow along the left-hand wall all the way down. There's a gate where you think you've come to the end. Get through it. It's in that room. Take matches. Matches there are torches along the wall you can light. That's my John Oliver impression. In tonight's news, fuck off, David.
Fuck off, David. I struggled through the gap, barely wide enough to pass through a child. What?
What?
I struggled through the gap, barely wide enough to pass through a child. Duh.
That sounds like bad writing.
I felt along the walls and came to the first lamp, which lit without issue.
Okay, when you say pass through a child, I don't want the next line to say, I felt along.
That's right. I welcomed the sudden influx of light, heat offering a secondary comfort. I lit as many torches as I could find and came to realize that the burial chamber I stood in was colossal, perhaps stretching the entire terrain of the graveyard above. Each lamp I lit exposed another until the whole room shone with radiant orange flame.
It took me several minutes of stunned silence to overcome the beauty before me. The room's perfect architecture has macabre decorations.
Macabre.
Oh, macabre.
Yeah.
I always say macabre. Decorations of bone and flesh. Coffins lined the floor. Carcasses lay draped across the drenched headstones. Decomposing bodies hung from the walls in mimic execution. A nightmarish tribute to the legend of the Mad Hangman.
Is that your Vincent Price?
No, I was going more of a Plinkett.
Oh!
It became clear why the entrance to this room was a single rupture of stone. The room had been sealed off. This crypt was intended to be inaccessible, yet it had been breached. Sanctuary was not to be found here. A sense of intrusion befell me, and looking back, I vaguely made out a silhouette figure between two lamps, watching me. Behind the ruptured entranceway, as I defiled the corpse of my dead wife.
Do you want any pizza rolls?
Any pizza rolls around, should I ask? I'm hungry, right?
This is a really long paragraph.
I've lost my place. Sanctuary was not found. So I figured behind ruptured entranceway, he did not move as I backed away. My senses told me to sprint.
Sprint!
Boost mobile. And I ran, far back to the catacombs beyond the reach of light. I trampled bones and tripped over corpses in my haste. I thought I said it in my waist.
Ew. Pooped himself.
In my haste. But did not at once slow down. Footsteps followed behind me, slow and innocuous footsteps, cementing my fear that somewhere in this crypt I would reach an end. I found a darkened corner and hid, perhaps awaiting my demise. Why now? Why when I was so close to my answer to death's enigma?
Oh, God.
But this is what you want.
I'd rather have Death's Enigma than to read more of the story. But there's more. Oh, we're almost done.
Are we almost done?
We're almost done.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, my God. I waited, breathing in damp air and the scent of putrid decay. I waited hours, possibly days. Man, that's sure what it feels like. I will never know. My senses were rendered absent by fear and obscurity. My body failed me. It wasn't until
This story has failed
This
me.
story has failed the city. It wasn't until the unlit torch I leaned against brightened. Huh? And I was greeted face to face with an entity, a lifeless figure devoid of shape, a deformed mass of hanging cloth, his face concealed with a white mask. He said nothing and stared at me with vacant eyes. He was not alone. This is what it looks like when you're done reading the story. You're just a shapeless form, and your eyes are just vacant, like when fucking Ghostwriter uses his pen and stare on you.
You got any pizza rolls?
Oh, no, I don't have any pizza rolls, Plinkett. Behind him, replicas of the bizarre man appeared, all wearing identical robes and masks.
I was terrified.
I am bored.
I was terrified.
Sure is dark in here. I think I'm gonna scream.
The cultist held me against. Held me against the cold stone.
Oh no!
Ah, this is where it's gonna get saucy now.
Oh!
I protested my innocence.
Yes.
I protested my innocence.
About to lose that innocence, boy.
I'm just a minor. Stop, please.
Oh.
That Baron has sent me here.
What?
He had told me all about the Nil cult. The NIHIL?
Yeah.
Or is it Nil?
NIHIL.
Nihil?
NIHIL.
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 The Nihil cult.
Nihil.
He told me of their devotion to death, and that August was their god. And that August, I thought it meant I thought it meant the month for a minute. That August was their god. The month of August.
We worship what comes after July and before September.
You know the hot month?
The hot month. With all that carny stuff.
Okay. He told me that they kill as followers. So that each cultist can live in a world between worlds, in death's realm. Sacrifice to their god meant eternal life, and eternal life meant immortality. And immortality means I don't want to read the story anymore.
My final vision was an execution! The colossal burial chamber was my courtroom, and a horde of death-worshipping cultists my jury. I pleaded with them to spare my life, at first with declarations of my acquaintance with Baron, and secondly, that I was only there to retrieve the book for a collector. Bowen failed his initiation. He is to be removed from paradise.
The speaker, August, the hangman himself, passed judgment from atop a magnificent throne of human heads.
Edgy.
His voice low, yet piercing, his features barely visible through weathered skin. And the book?
Oh, yes.
The most treasured item in existence? The book is what keeps people searching. The book is the whispers of the condemned and the children's fear embodied. This so-called book of death does not exist. It's a myth created to bring people like us, people like you, to us.
Thank you, Rip Taylor.
Oh, that wasn't Rip Taylor.
That wasn't Rip Taylor?
That was just me doing an enthusiastic cult guy.
Can you reread that as Rip Taylor, please? For the court, for the record?
Hold on. It's been a while.
Would you like me to give you a bucket of glitter? There we go. You need something. He's got a plastic bag.
And the book treasures... Wait, hold on. The most treasured item in existence? The book! It is the key that keeps people searching. The book is that... Oh, hold on. It's been a while since I've done Rick Taylor. I gotta keep throwing confetti. I gotta keep throwing the confetti around. That's what I gotta do.
Hello?
The book is the whispers. The condemned and children here. If here's embodiment, I like to drink alcohol. Vodka and prune juice. It's called Screwdriver. This so-called book of death does not exist. It is a myth created to bring people like us in. I need to go lay down.
This episode guest starring Nicolas Cage and Rick Taylor.
I would love to watch that comedy movie.
And with these words, consciousness faded, much like my attention span in this story.
So our hero is dead.
An afterlife called out to me. I awoke in the same crypt I had died. August's throne sat empty. The gallows on which I drew my last breath announced no successful execution. The chamber lay desolate, no cultists in sight. I searched the cavern, hoping to find something which could explain recent events. I made my way out of the unending burial chamber and back into the graveyard, and what I saw was not a world I recognized. At the center of the cemetery was a gallows, all ready with a condemned prisoner attached to a rope. A smartly dressed hangman dropped him to his death to the applause of 1,000-strong audience, baying for his blood. I watched his lifeless body be removed and the rope cut up and passed to audience members craving a token of death. Great, he's stuck at a concert.
So it's like this. Is this the most elaborate Marilyn Manson concert?
This is just that.
I now realize why August informed me that the book was merely a myth. In life, yes. In existence, to lure death worshippers to the burial chambers of a living death. Of a living death god.
Living death god. Living
for
death
sacrifice.
god.
For sacrifice, perhaps. But I now realize that I was not executed. I was initiated.
Oh, I now see the world as I saw it before, but with remnants of death haunting every avenue. Along every road and on every street corner, murder victims replay their dying moments. Severed heads decorate barbed wire fences, and streets are washed with the wreckages of fatal accidents and bloodshed. Oh my God, this is fucking stupid. Oh my God. And I have read some actual honest-to-God splatterpunk like Edward Lee and like Brian Keane stuff. This is fucking terrible. Fucking terrible.
This place is not an afterlife, yet it was. Then what is it then? If it's not an afterlife, then this must be the real life.
It's the before life. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know.
Can you repeat the question?
Could you repeat the question?
It was neither hell nor heaven,
Uh-huh.
but somewhere between. This is not purgatory.
It's a private purgatory. That's the next slide. A private purgatory.
A private purgatory. A paradise in black and gray. This was death's realm. Reserved for the chosen few who seek him.
Help, he's stuck in 2005 Hot Topic.
I'll take the next. I'll take the next one. You take the last two.
Yeah, okay. Jesus.
I returned to Wakefield. How?
He just man. He just did it.
How?
He did it. He just walked.
He just got bored, like us. The guard waited for me to return with his ultimate relic, but I never did. I found it amusing to watch his sanity gradually slip, even though he was already crazy.
Yeah.
I eventually killed him, along with Baron.
Yeah.
With what? I don't know.
Mind bullets.
The guard's occult collection proved useful in locating further devotees of death, cementing my position as a member of the NIHIL Club.
No.
The NIHIL Club.
I was assured that neither Baron nor the guard would be granted access to NIHIL. They would simply pass out of existence, or how boring the story is. Never to lust or desire again. I do not lust nor desire to read the story anymore. I am afraid I can't reveal my name. Nor,
Oh yeah, he never said it. Wait, did he say his name?
No, he never said his name.
Okay.
Nor the exact whereabouts of Log Slope Cemetery. Just know that I exist in your world, yet I live in NIHIL, Death's realm. I have no choice but to continue to walk the earth, undead, yet unliving, seeking death more with each passing day.
Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal.
Oh, God, for an hour, we were stuck inside a goddamn Used album.
Inside a private purgatory.
Oh, shut up! That was boring.
It was.
It started out so promising.
It did.
And then it just fell off fucking part. Oh my, I'm actually sleepy. I am honest to God. Sleepy.
I'm not.
Wait, oh God, I'm so sleepy. I'm like yawning. Oh. Thoughts?
Written well.
Uh-huh.
You had a great premise.
Yep.
And you blew it.
You fucked it up. You blew it.
You hung it.
9.1! 9.1 on creepypasta.com. 9.1. 9.1. Is it a 9.1?
No. I give this more of a 4.
Is it a 4 out of 10?
I get a 4 out of 10.
We should come up with a rating system.
I'm fine with something out of 10.
What's it?
Because I'll say this: it's definitely written better than the last.
Yeah, Only a Dream. Yeah,
Only a Dream, which I will say, yeah, that's pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
This is a lot better. Like, it's better written and it had a good premise.
Oh.
But then you kind of blew it near the end. You could have gone to interesting places, but no. Now I have to be the monster.
No, they're edgy. They had to go edgy, and it was like meaningless edge.
Yeah, and then there was also just a lot of explaining something and not really giving too much context to it.
Oh my God! I give this story a 3 on the Fearinkometer.
You give it nine ink splots out of.
Yes, I give it 3 ink splots out of
toner.
Out of gun. What do you give it?
I'm giving it 4 ink spots out of this copiers out of toner.
Oh. Jesus Christ. Well, we'll be back next time. Link to the story will be in the description. Jesus, God help you if you want to read it. This might be the worst thing we've read so far.
And my other problem, you had a pretty good name for a villain.
Yeah.
I don't like this. This villain's boring.
That's right, August Ames. No, wait, that's a porn star.
I was going to say August Atherstone.
August Atherstone. Rest in peace, August Ames. But, yeah, we'll be back next time with more fear. Hopefully we got a better story.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but, it could be a guy describing how to make stairs, and it would probably be more entertaining than this story.
You know, it would be more entertaining if the stairs were bodies.
Oh,
yeah.
Then
how do the bodies support the weight of a person?
That's right. Dead people Jenga.
Yeah.
That and more next time.
On Fear the Ink.
On Fear the Ink. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.